welcome to this Sisal Networks tutorial. In this tutorial we will explain you on how you are able to secure your security device even more. In this tutorial we will go over a few steps. The first step will be securing your device in a basic manner, which means to simply block out all remote access to the device. After that we will go through how to secure your device if you need to access it remotely, so to let you secure the device and access the device in a secure way from a remote location. After that we will go through some general tips when it comes down to for example, securing your device through our GeoIP service, which, please keep in mind, needs the GeoIP license active on the device. And after that we will go through how you can change a user password and how you can change the HTTPS remote port of the device and the SSL VPN port on the device. For the SSL VPN port, keep in mind that this is only supported on devices running the version 5.00 or higher, which are currently only available for the ATP series and the USG Flex series. All other tips you can also use on your Zywalls, on your USGs and on your VPN series devices. So let's get to it. First of all, we need to log in to the device. If this is the first time you're connecting to the device, it's admin and 1234, and then it will ask you to change the password afterwards. So if we're now on the main screen, we go to configuration, then we go to object, and then we go to service. From there we click on service group, click on default allow WAN to Zywall, and click on edit. From here on, we simply remove all external services like FTP, FTPS, HTTPS, SSH, Telnet, and TFTP. After that, click on OK. Now, if you need to access your device remotely anyhow, you can go to configuration, object, address GeoIP, and simply add the trusted IP of the remote host you are going to use to access the device. From here on, create an address group, which is called, then in my case, trusted IP, and simply select and add the IP address of the host. Then we will go to security policy, policy control. We will choose the WAN to device rule and click on edit. Here we choose as source our group trusted IP and click on OK and apply. That means that also in revisions afterwards, all devices that are in that group trusted IP will be able to access the device. And the next possibility would be to use the GeoIP, which you can do under configuration, address and GeoIP and GeoIP. Again, as already mentioned, please keep in mind that you need to have the license active, otherwise it will not the service will not be able to actualize its database. Here we then add a address group, which we call geography_block. Click on OK and go to address, add. Then we choose geography, and then we can choose a region and give it a name. In this case, this is geo_Asia, but you can use whatever you want. And you see, if your license is not active, you will get this error message. But the service will run anyways, but as I said, it will not update its database. So let's go quickly through it for all the regions here. So now we're doing Europe. And again, we choose geography. And then we, in this example now, Africa. We name it and click on OK. Go again to add geography. And now it's North America. And so on and so forth. In the meantime, while I'm doing this, so the GeoIP functionality is very practical if you want to block specific regions or even countries from access, or the other way around, only allow very specific geographic regions. Sorry. So this can be practical, for example, if you have lots of incoming connections that you don't know, for example, from Asia or something else. So which means that we will be able to block those connection requests out completely. Or for example, you only want to, and this is the example that we are going to use here in a minute, as soon as I'm done. For example, you only want addresses from Germany be able to access the device. Alright, that's it. And now I have to add them in our address group. So we say geography, go ahead, add them here. And again, geoblock. Seems that did not save it the last time around, so okay. Now I am going to add also the country Germany as a single unit, which means I call it geo_Germany in this case, and I go ahead and I search for Germany directly there. Click on OK, and then I go to address group and I add a second group, which I will call geoallow or geo_allow. And from here on, I go ahead and I choose geography and I choose my object GeoGermany and add it, which means that I will be also able to add other countries in that group without creating a new policy rule for each country. So what I'm going to do now is basically grab the WAN2 device, clone it to the number 11, so under there. Since I'm going to create a deny rule, and deny rules should be always the last rules, because otherwise it will deny all my traffic and don't even get to the allow. rules. So I just call it GeoBlock. And instead of trusted IP, I just use the group GeoBlock and put it from action to allow to action deny. Then I'll click on OK. And now for Germany, I'm going to grab that, clone it again, put it on to 11 because I want my allow rule to be before my deny rule, as I said, because the traffic will go from top to bottom until it meets a rule that matches its characteristics. And I click apply. And now you see we have our default rule deny, which will apply if no other firewall rule matches our incoming traffic, which is okay. And then we have here our groups and our services that we are allowing. And you see my deny rule is before other allow rules, that's true. But since they're pretty specific, that shouldn't pose any problem. But if you want to make very sure, you can go ahead and put them at the end. Now to change the ports, we first of all have to add new objects which define the ports that we are going to use. And in our case, we have two objects for that. One, the HTTPS, which we'll put on 8443, and the SSL VPN, which I will create later, which will use the 4443. So as you see, I go again to the default allow WAN to ZIWALL, and I'm going to quickly grab my HTTPS ZISL object. I click on OK. And now before I delete the normal HTTPS object, I have to first change the port, otherwise I'm going to block out myself. So that is done under configuration system and www. And under HTTPS, change it, click on apply. Now we have to go and open the web interface again, but we need to put in first the changed HTTPS port. Yes, that we want that too. Okay, it gives me the security error for the self-send certificate, that's okay. And then I'm going to log in again. Now, we still technically have the HTTPS open. So we have to remove the object out of our group. So we go again to configuration, object, service group, and then we go to the default allow WAN to ZIWALL. And here I just remove the HTTPS, click on OK, and we're done. Now for the change of the VPN SSL port, so it's basically the same. So we go to object, service, we add a new object which will define the port that we will use. So in this case I call it SSL VPN new, and I just put in my port 4443, click on OK, and go ahead to service group, choose again my default allow WAN to ZIWALL, click on edit, and add the new SSL VPN object for the port. It's a bit, yeah, exactly, there it is. And I add it, I click on OK. Now, to change the actual port, I will go to configuration VPN, SSL VPN. Then I have global settings, and there it is. You see it takes by default the HTTPS port, but we don't want that, so we just simply change it to 4443 and click on apply. And then we can go back to the dashboard if we want to, but basically now we are officially done with securing our device. Yeah, I hoped that you learned something here. Now for the user password, we can go to configuration, object and user group, choose our admin user, click on edit, and there we can then change manually the password. Then click on OK, and then we can test it by logging out and logging in again with our new password. Click on login, and here we go. So that worked. Now another possibility to secure your device even further is using 2FA or two-factor authentication that you can set up if you choose your user, click on edit, and then on the tab two-factor authentication, and then you can enable it either for the admin access or the VPN access. In our case, we want to use the admin access, and we have the possibility to choose the PIN code by SMS or email or Google Authenticator. And you can do, in this example, the Google Authenticator, and which means you have to download the Google Authenticator app, scan the barcode or QR code, and then verify your device. And then click on OK. But actually, let's walk through it once. I'm going to quickly grab my mobile and we will walk it through. So 2FA, enable 2FA, choose Google Authenticator, set up Google Authenticator. Click it, that will take a second. Okay, now I have to download the app, which can take up to a minute. And yeah, and open it. Okay, scan the QR code. And that will then add a new token to my Authenticator app, which will then generate a specific token code, which consists of 6 numbers that we can add here. So let me do that. That's, yep. And then click on verify code and finish, and it's successful. So you see now we get some backup codes. Please download them and save them at a safe place, because we're gonna need those in case our mobile phone gets lost or somehow the Google Authenticator app got a corrupted cache or something and we cannot access that anymore. So those codes allow us to still access the device. Now I'm going to quickly test the 2FA. So log in, and now it should ask us for the code. Exactly, so grab the app, check the code that it's generated, put it in, and click on verify. And we're in. And yeah, so this wraps up our small how-to video. I hope you learned something. And as always, stay safe, stay secure, and see you the next time.